What is up, everybody? I could not wait to do this stream, actually. It's been a while. It's been a while. Let me get this bullshit off my screen real quick. Hello. Welcome, everybody, to Revelations. I am your host, Ray. Woo! It has been an interesting week. It just keeps getting better and better. But hello to the chat. We got Nerdette's Newsstand. Hello, beautiful. How are you? Nerdette's Newsstand bullies Mo Moon. Good. She should do it more. The Joseph Santos, what is up? K Huck in the chat. What happened? What do you mean what happened, K Huck? You know what happened. The thing that I've been basically saying for the last year or so, when the tipster stuff first happened. Oh, it's been happening. I'm here for it, honey. What is up, Jason? How are you? Much love to Jason. What is up, Blue Jay, the samurai? Nerdette's Newsstand. Hey, I hope you like my MILF jokes on your videos. What the hell? Interesting. Okay. BMC, hello, how are you? How you doing? Oh, she said, like, you saw the thumbnail, girl. You already know I got to get my licks in. Because for those of you who don't know, Tipster is a very close friend of mine. And unfortunately, he got himself in a little trouble, The commentary community kind of like turned on him, and his relationship with another very controversial YouTuber named Keffels kind of started that ball rolling downhill. And then, if you guys didn't hear about the infamous Vosh stream where he leaked some very inappropriate material, and Tipster had some takes that wish he kept to himself, but here we are today. But the reason why I'm talking about this is because Tipster got basically canceled, right? Tipster got canceled over some bad takes he had. I'm just going to say it. It was bad takes, but I love him. That's my boy. And I will say that the people who went at him hardest are now the ones that are being exposed, the ones that are pretty much ending their own YouTube careers. And it's hilarious to me. So before we get into like who these people are and why we talk about them, I gotta give a shout out to Aerostream, even though TTS is not here, for $2 super chat for TTS. TTS in the house. What's up, Aerostream? Thank you so much. My boy with the $2 super chat says for TTS. I thank you, my guy. I appreciate you. Diabolical. I'm not TTS, but I did my best. That's all I can say. But thank you, Aero. Thank you, Arrow, for the $2 super chat. Appreciate you. BMC says I'm okay for the moment. Well, hopefully it's longer than a moment. So, who is Tipster, for those of you who don't know? Well, Tipster is, even though he's not as big as he used to be, YouTuber with 100,000 subscribers. He got some recognition mostly for his, coverage of, what was that chick's name? Was it Susie Lou? I don't even know which chick this was, but it was a female content creator that was going around issuing false copyright strikes on people. Tipster covered it. He pretty much blew up. He was big into the retro gaming stuff. He likes Resident Evil, but he had a very good channel. He was part of the commentary community for the longest time. And then I told you guys about the whole cancellation stuff and things that happened. But the first person that we're going to talk about who kind of got his comeuppance was this dude named Bo Blacks. Now, I'm just going to talk, guys, because I got a lot of talking to do. I'm not going to put any clips or anything because the information's out there. But I'm going to tell you exactly. Bo Blacks is another big YouTuber, part of the commentary community. He made so many videos on Tipster. He called them the bully streams, where he would sit there and dog on Twitter, on Tipster, on Twitter, on his YouTube channel. And him and Tipster were, as far as I knew, cool. But the moment, the drama happened, people chose a side. So Bo Blacks chose the side of being like, I'm just going to A-log the fuck out of Tipster. And he just went on, literally was a hate channel at Tipster at one point, right? So then what happened to Bo Blacks? Thank you, Lady Laura, for the $2 saying, hey, appreciate you. I see Ray Zero on the chat. With his punk ass. Tipster's a rotund Mexican cousin. Now, Bo Blacks went after Tipster probably the hardest when this all happened, okay? So after Tipster was basically ousted from the commentary community, everybody was calling him out. He was having people trying to expose him. There were leaked DMs of females trying to paint him as a creep, and I've talked about that too. I was in those Discord servers. I was in some of the conversations that happened. I know a lot of these women are fucking capping. They were bullshitting. They just jumped on the bandwagon. But anyways, Bo Black. Bo Blacks, I don't know what happened. I guess one day people started looking at him funny and he got exposed for lying to a bunch of people because he was telling people he had bipolar personality disorder, which he never had an official diagnosis of, but he was just telling people, I have a bipolar personality disorder. That's why I'm the way I am. And he never got diagnosed. He admitted he never got diagnosed. So he's going around exposing people. And this is the thing that these commentary people do. They're exposed channels, basically, right? They expose people for all kinds of things. And yet they are always the ones getting exposed. So Bo Blacks got kind of canceled for that. A lot of people don't mess with Bo Blacks anymore because he is a pathological liar. And then he tried to run back to Tipster, the person that he spent like months and months and months going after, doing what he called bully streams about him, try to go back to Tipster, and Tipster told him, you know, in a nice way, go fuck off, but I wish you the best. And Bo Blacks just kind of went back to his I hate Tipster bullshit. Till this day, a lot of people still clown on Bo Blacks, but I find it really funny how Bo Blacks was the one going after Tipster for a very long time about all kinds of shit, and then all of a sudden it turns out Bo Blacks is the one also kind of, you know, needing to get exposed. Because, like, in fairness, Tipster never got exposed for anything, really. They just didn't like his takes on certain topics, which is kind of related to the next person. Some ordinary gamers, if you guys haven't heard about the name Mudahar, some of y'all in Henry's community might remember Mudahar because he covered it the other night. Well, Mudahar also is somebody who used to be kind of cool with Tipster, and when the shit hit the fan, Mudahar has a habit of jumping ship whenever one of his buddies is in controversy, and Mudahar definitely did. Now, this has to do with the Vosh, because you know people were upset about Tipster for his association with a YouTuber named Keffels. It was the Vosh lolicon situation that really got people upset with Tipster. And it was funny because the first thing that came out about Mudahar was that he was watching and reacting to Lolly himself with another YouTuber. Okay, that was ironic because wasn't everybody coming at Tipster because Tipster said he didn't think that what was shown was lolicon, and everyone's like, how do you not think it's lolicon? See, Tipster never got caught enjoying lolicon or supporting lolicon and or loving lolicon, like, right? He just, I guess, had a confusion of what lolicon is, which for the record, I understand because a lot of you motherfuckers don't know what lolicon is. Y'all think regular anime is the same level as lolicon. Like I said, there's lolicon and then there's some sussery in anime, okay? I think anime entirely has a lot of sus shit, but to say lolicon this, lolicon that, y'all don't actually really know what lolicon is, and it shows very much every single day. A lot of people came at me for that take, but again, y'all don't understand what lolly is. All right, y'all really don't. And it clearly shows because if you have to question it, you clearly don't know what it is. I tell people all the time, if you have to question something, if it's sus or not, just don't engage with it. If you're looking at a cartoon character and you don't know how old they look, just stay away from it. Really that simple. Save yourself some hardship there, you know. But it was funny how Mudahar was one of the people that went after Tipster about his takes on what lolicon is or isn't. Meanwhile, was sitting there on a stream about a few years back watching lolicon and interacting with lolicon, but like, hey, and these commentary YouTubers, they always do that. It's always usually lately, it was like a whole year where everyone was talking about lolicon shit, and then you find out most of these YouTubers talking about it, partake in it. Kind of weird, huh? But then it got better because after Mudahar got exposed for that, right, and told the dude who he was trying to, you know, oh, well, Mudahar was watching lolicon with this YouTuber named Lyrics. Oh, Mudahar disavowed Lyrics, so I'm not going to talk to Lyrics anymore. That's why I distanced myself from him. Then Lyrics exposed that was bullshit, that Mudahar apologized to Lyrics for everything. And yeah, Mudahar went bye-bye. And then I guess a few days ago, all of a sudden, another YouTuber does a video exposing that Mudahar not only lied about the lolicon stuff and his relationship to the YouTuber Lyrics, he lied about being a freaking engineer. And now people will say, well, how do you know it's a lie? Well, because the guy compiled old ass videos, like from years ago, and put it together of all the shit that Mudahar himself has said, which kind of confirms, like, bro, you ain't a real engineer. He went to school for engineering and said he dropped out. He doesn't have a degree, but he tells everybody, I'm an engineer. Listen to me. I have experience in this. I'm an engineer. Now, here's the thing. If he had just said, I went to school for engineering, engineering is my passion, but I never finished, but I do have knowledge about it. Cool. But he just kept saying, I work as an engineer. I work as an engineer. Engineering is my career. Okay? When you say that, and it's exposed that you need a degree to actually work these jobs, and you're saying you dropped out of school, out of college? Nah, bro, you're not an engineer. It's funny how that works, right? It's usually the people like Mudahar and Bo Blacks that do the most to like go after other people. And then you find out they have skeletons in their closet too. Oh, I forgot to mention Bo Blacks' OnlyFans got leaked. Yeah, Bo Blacks apparently was doing some gay OnlyFans page that he didn't want anyone to know about. I don't judge him for that, and I thought it was shitty that they leaked it. But again, you want to sit there and call Tipster a degenerate and how he talks to ladies and how he's crusty and stuff while you have a whole ass OnlyFans page where you're doing gay porn. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I'm not judging you for doing that, but I'm judging you for having the audacity to call fucking Tipster a degenerate and say that his flirting with women makes him creepy and all that shit. Meanwhile, you doing OnlyFans playing with your booty hole for men. Again, no judgment, but don't call nobody a degenerate and talk about how he's flirting with other women while you're spreading cheeks on OnlyFans, bro. Because that ain't it. That ain't it. Just saying. And I find it hilarious when I came out to Tipster's defense because I know Tipster's not a bad guy. Again, having a bad take on something doesn't make you a bad person. It just means maybe you're not educated enough on the topic and sometimes you shouldn't give an opinion. Kind of like how they kept telling me, well, you're not educated. You're not educated on this, but you talk on it. Cool. Doesn't make me a bad person. It just means I'm a little ignorant and dumb sometimes. But that doesn't mean I'm doing anything crazy. Who am I hurting? You have people like Bo Blacks going after Tipster, but lying to all his apparent friends, using a personality disorder he was never properly diagnosed for to excuse his shitty ass weird behavior. He might have bipolar personality disorder. That could be true. But saying it as a fact and using that as a fucking excuse while you're trying to tear somebody else down for having bad takes online is fucking wild to me. Calling a man a degenerate while you're spreading cheeks on OnlyFans is wild to me. Calling somebody a fake and a fraud and all this shit while you're a fake engineer, that seems wild to me. Claiming you're not a piece of shit in private, like, oh my God, I'm such a cool, honest person. Meanwhile, you got another YouTuber, Mama Max, exposing how fake you are. Gee, it's almost like these YouTubers that make this career on YouTube by exposing other people tend to be the ones getting exposed now. Wow, I wonder why that is. It couldn't be because most of the fucking shit that made them famous was all bullshit in the first place. Most of these people don't give a fuck about these topics, by the way. You think these dudes really give a shit if somebody's watching Lolicon? They really don't. They really don't. Hey, buddy, what you do behind the scenes is your own business. Just don't let it bleed out to me. Don't ever let it come out. You sit there and watch Lolicon because then I have to come out and disavow it. That's what they really be doing behind the scenes. Because it's funny how when Tipster got fucking pretty much canceled by the commentary community, the moment Bo Blacks had his fallout, a couple of these people came back to Tipster like, yeah, you were right about Bo Blacks. And now they're cool with Tipster again. And I'm sitting here like really funny how you guys went at Tipster for a whole year straight. A whole year straight going at this man for his bad take on what is or what isn't Lolicon, which clearly y'all don't really care about because the moment Tipster's looking kind of good compared to Bo Blacks, y'all over there trying to get back on his tip. Make that make sense, you fake ass fucks. I don't think you guys realize, but like looking at the shit with Bo Blacks, looking at the shit with Mudahar, y'all next question is who's next? And maybe start looking at Tipster like maybe Tipster wasn't really the problem. Maybe when Tipster said he was stepping away from the commentary community, he was walking away because of the bullshit, because he thought all these people were cool with him. And he see in the moment they had a chance to make content out of him, they sure as fuck did. So he said, fuck them all, I'm walking away. And then everyone's like, oh my God, look at Tipster. He's choosing Keffels over all of his friends. Well, y'all didn't give that man much of an option, did you? Now, you can still hate Tipster for the reasons you hate Tipster. But let's stop pretending y'all actually give a fuck about, like, the majority of the shit y'all got on that man. Because you don't. You never have. And it was painfully obvious, especially after Bo Blacks, When y'all came in Tipster's DMs trying to apologize to him, then why the fuck did you guys give a fuck in the first place then? I'm so sorry. We just now totally forgot the reasons why we were mad at you in the first place. Totally forgot. Right? Well, Tipster did come out and say he was wrong for his stance and opinions in those situations, whereas Bobby has continued to double down, but don't disagree. People would hate to ride the wave. Right, and that's another thing. So thank you for bringing it up. Tipster did say, yeah, he made a mistake, but at the end of the day, you notice how it's so easy to forgive. Like, they completely destroyed Tipster. His YouTube career is over. He don't get the clicks and views like he did anymore because of that shit. Because now everyone just looks at him and call him a predator. Oh, he supports Lolicon. Mudahar was watching the shit with somebody else, reacting to it, doing a whole ass review on it. And then all of a sudden that disappeared until it resurfaced. I was like, oh yeah, he did do that. Mudahar, what changed? All right, y'all realize Lolicon was frowned upon by the public, by everybody who looks at people who like Lolicon and look at them sideways. But it's really telling when this man has a whole Sonichu fucking medallion. Now, let me explain to y'all who don't know what the Sonichu medallion is. That profile picture, you see that little thing around his neck on the thumbnail? Okay, that's what they call Sonichu. That's tied to somebody named Chris Chan. Chris Chan has a lot of problems. Chris Chan got arrested for apparently, basically what happened was, I don't even want to say it loud because it's gross, but Chris Chan basically was kind of like the first locale. Project Zero, right? Patient Zero. Patient Zero was Chris Chan. Chris Chan was the reason why a website called Kiwi Farms even was invented, bro. Like, Chris Chan was just this person who clearly had mental issues that made content. And they wrote Sonic fan fiction. It was like Sonic mixed with something else or whatever, like Sonic Shoes, Sonic Dragon Ball Z. I don't fucking know. I was not that invested in Chris Chan, but I did hear about Chris Chan. And then later on in life, Chris Chan ended up getting, exposed for, abusing their mother and R-wording their mother. It was gross, right? But before that happened, that Chris Chan, they started making medallions of the Sonichu character that Chris Chan created. And a lot of content creators bought those medallions. And this is why we call it the Sonichu curse, because any YouTuber who has bought that medallion had some exposed shit happen to them, which ruined their YouTube careers. Okay? And if you look up videos on the Sonichu curse, they will tell you that they will list every YouTuber who bought the Sonichu medallion and had shit happen, bro. You know what I'm saying? The audience chose their champion. Yeah. Chris Chan got a whole documentary. I was shocked to see that chain. Yes, a lot of YouTubers got it to meme the medallion. Like, it was a meme at this point. But they paid for it. And I'm sitting here like, anyone willing to pay for that medallion clearly is not a good person. Like, you have to understand where this whole thing came from. Chris Chan, anything tied to Chris Chan is danger. Okay? Like, anything associated with Chris Chan should stay the hell away from that. Okay? And that Sonichu, that's kind of hilarious. I'm not surprised. Yes, Mudahar did choose to wear the medallion. Like, they thought it was funny. And it's funny now because all the people who bought that medallion, who rock it, they all got exposed for some shit or some stupid shit happened to them. And it kind of it either ended their YouTube career or it hurt it significantly. The last person I remember of the YouTuber I know who wore that medallion and had some controversy was Nick Rekieta, a lawyer YouTuber who got arrested because he got caught. The police found cocaine in his house, and the kids apparently one of his kids had cocaine in their system. Apparently, allegedly. I'm gonna say allegedly because I didn't follow that case. All I know is Nick Rekieta looked really fucking high on his streams for a very long time. So it's safe to say that those allegations that he was on some blow was probably true. But he's also somebody who was rocking the Sonichu medallion. Yeah, exactly. Nick Rekieta. So when I'm telling you, these YouTubers, when they're doing the most, right? 90% of the YouTubers that kind of do what I do, right? They always get exposed for doing either worse or something similar to the shit that they've been called out. Just keeping it real. Now, I look forward to the day somebody can find some shit on me, because I do this too, and I am pretty loud. So I'm kind of, I guess you could throw me in that ring. But I'm telling you, Bo Blacks, Mudahar, I'm waiting. Who's the next one? Augia RCF, Nicholas Diorio, who's next? Tommy C, who's the next content creator that went after Tipster that hard that's going to be exposed for some crazy shit that they didn't want the public to know? You know? And I'm not saying, I'm not accusing Nicholas Diorio or any of those people I mentioned of doing it, but it seems kind of hilarious that like two people who definitely were cool with Tipster, who turned on him that quickly, now have controversies, now have exposes on themselves. It's hilarious to me. And I'm sitting here like, bro, Tipster's a good dude. All right. Again, you don't have to like Tipster for whatever reasons. You might not like his political stances. You might not like, listen, I didn't like his relationship with Keffels either. I don't like Keffels. I still don't like Keffels. But you know what? I know Tipster. That's it. I don't know Keffels. I just don't like the shit that I've seen of Keffels, but I don't know Keffels either. But I'm choosing not to want to know Keffels, because what I do know about Keffels deters me enough to not want to know Keffels. Point blank, period. But I do know Tipster. I knew Tipster before I even heard the name Keffels. I'm not going to punish my friend because I have issues with somebody he chooses to associate with. If I feel like Keffels is as bad as I think she is, then let Tipster find out the hard way. That's what I took from it. That's what a real friend does. All these other people who claimed friendship with Tipster, they did the opposite. I can't be associated with Tipster because of Keffels. And Tipster even said, if that's what you feel, you know what I'm saying, do what you got to do. Tipster never fought hard for these friendships. He's like, if that's how you feel, then you do what you got to do. You know, but they went at him for a whole year and some change. And then look what happened. Two people who everyone sucked off online because they were going after Tipster end up getting exposed. And it's hilarious. Those same people were like, wow, Tipster W. Tipster won. Tipster didn't have to do anything. He had to just sit there and let y'all expose yourselves. And it's beautiful. I love to see it. I love seeing karma bite people in the ass. I love it. Mudahar was never an engineer. Yeah, we established that. What happened? I remember that Nick case. 8-Bit Eric had a medallion as well. Yeah, he's next. I can't stand 8-Bit Eric. I do not like 8-Bit Eric at all. He's another one. He likes to push bullshit. He's another one who likes to peddle bullshit. I'm not a big fan of him either. I am a boba tea engineer. I am. Thank you. No, TJ, you up? Ray has issued a challenge. Y'all ain't gonna find shit on me. It ain't shit I'm doing. What am I doing? What am I doing? I barely leave the house to even commit anything criminal. If somebody's like, she's gotta be a criminal. Bitch, I barely leave my house to commit a crime. Only thing you'll ever find out about me is when my car is hot, I will drive it hot. If my tags are bad, I'm gonna still drive that bitch till I get my tags. Okay, that's the only thing you're gonna find out about me. I drive hot. Oh man, same thing happened with Matt Jarbo. But the funny thing about that, right? When I talked about yesterday, those Snyder cultists going after Matt Jarbo about that kill stream. What happened years later, Momoon? You were there for that stream when Matt Jarbo had Ethan Ralph on his channel. Ethan Ralph, the same motherfucker who had the kill stream that Matt Jarbo got canceled on, came on to Matt Jarbo's channel. And when Matt asked him the same question Ethan Ralph asked him a decade ago, which got him canceled, let's see your report history. What did Ethan Ralph do? He crashed out and rage quit the stream. Nah, I'm not going to show you my report history. Why not? You got Matt Jarbo to admit that he reported people. He even admitted it again on that stream. Okay, how many YouTube channels did you report, Ethan Ralph? Because for me, it was like 13. And he's like, and it was wrong for me to do it, but that's the number. 13 YouTube channels that I reported. How many have you reported, Ethan Ralph? He didn't answer. He rage quit. And every single person who was there when Matt Jarbo got canceled called in on that same stream and gave Matt Jarbo flowers. They gave Matt Jarbo flowers. It's almost like they didn't really give a fuck about the false flagging shit. It's almost like they used it just to get rid of Matt Jarbo. Because when Ethan Ralph didn't want to admit that he flagged people's channels down, all of a sudden what Matt did went away. Oh, Matt. Even though Matt admitted it and he said it was wrong and he learned his lesson, years later, people bring it up to him, but Ethan Ralph don't admit that he's doing it, and everyone's like, good job, even though we were all applauding. We were all there. Keemstar was there during the kill stream. All those people were there during the kill stream shit. Like I said, I tell you guys all the time, these YouTubers, you know how you can tell that they actually give a fuck about this shit? By their actions, not their words. They will tell you to their face. Saying the N-word, guys, if you are not a person of color, saying the N-word is wrong. You shouldn't say it. Meanwhile, they're in Discord servers and private group chats saying all the fucking N-words that they can. But hey, guys, if you say it, it's wrong. A YouTuber who's not a black person saying nigga, we gonna go and make a whole expose video on that white boy. Meanwhile, in their DM groups, they're like, yo, that nigga was crazy, right? I made mad money off that nigga. That's how they talk. And I know this because I've been in these DM groups with these people. I've been in these DM groups with these kind of YouTubers. They're full of shit. I remember one YouTuber, listen, John Della Rose. I'm going to drop a name. John Della Rose is a YouTuber I used to be cool with because I thought he was cool, bro. Right? He will be the first person to talk about how racism is wrong and we can't be people saying the N-word is bad. Yo, he's in DM groups with people dropping that word and they ain't black. They ain't black. I'm telling you right now. Okay, hold on. Oh, hold on. Okay, I got something. Let's see. Oh yeah. I'll add that. That's a good one. Sorry, I had to go on that rant. So here's an exclusive. No, it's not exclusive. Tipster posted on his Twitter account. When was this? When did he post that? Oh, he posted yesterday. So he said the post on Twitter says, now I obviously disavow doxing no matter how subtle or detailed it is, but it's interesting to see Mudahar's wife get upset about a quote light dox, as she puts it, when she had no problem doxing me during a live blood sports debate in 2022. Rules for thee, not for me. So on Mudahar's wife's social media page, I think, or whatever, she says everyone's signal boosting a video with a light dox, and now people are working to dox our family. Fuck you. Meanwhile, I do remember the stream he's talking about. They had like this like blood sports thing, where they had all these YouTubers come on and like basically just talk shit to each other. It wasn't meant to be serious. So Tipster was there, Mudahar's wife was there, Mudahar was there, and basically during the interaction, she did dox his location, like where he lived. So again, hypocrites, right? Oh, I'm gonna cry because they doxed the city I live in, but I had no problem doing that to Tipster. My husband went after Tipster for the lolicon comments. Meanwhile, he was caught watching lolicon on stream with one of his online buddies. Where? Fake bullshit. These people are so full of shit. Their eyes are all brown to the fucking rim. The whites in their eyes are not white. It's brown because they're so full of shit. Y'all talk about this shit like you care and you don't. And I love seeing y'all get exposed for it. Because it's fucking sad how y'all used to be cool with Tipster, then all of a sudden it was no longer cool to be with Tipster. So many people jumped ship. So many people in this fucking Discord, some of his mods were like, oh, I'm so disappointed in him. I can't believe he did this. I was having issues with him for a while. I was just waiting for an opportunity. And this is the last straw for me. Go fuck yourselves. Just say you were there for the clout, bro. Just say when Tipster was at his peak, you were there for the clout, bro. The only reason why these YouTubers even talk to Tipster is because he had fucking numbers. That's the only reason why. But then he started rocking with Keffels. And again, I'm not disagreeing with y'all for stepping away because Keffels, like, fuck her. I don't fucking like Keffels either. David says, Tipster went on record defending the creepy piece of shit Vosh. Right, and he also went back on that and said he shouldn't have done that. That he understood why his take was bad. So what? It happens, bro. It fucking happens. People do dumb shit online all the time. They make dumb decisions. Right? So what? Tipster defended a creepy piece of shit like Vosh. I agree. It was a bad take. Don't defend him on that. But even he said, you know what? He walked it back and said, you know what? I realized it was a fucking dumb take. I fucked up. He owned it. He owned it. Mudahar and Bo Blacks and a lot of these people don't own their own shit when they get exposed for something. And yes, I agree. Vosh is weird. Vosh's takes are weird. I don't know why anyone in their right mind would even try to rationalize Vosh's stupid shit that comes out his mouth. No context can really compare, like, can clear the stuff that Vosh has said 100%. 100%. 100%. But it's funny, David Cohen, you bring that up. See, I respect David Cohen because David Cohen is standing on his issues with Tipster, where most of these YouTubers, now all of a sudden, some of them are fine with Tipster. But if that was the case, why did y'all go at him for this in the first place? Why did y'all go at him for this in the first place? Now all of a sudden that Bo Blacks and Mudahar are in the wrong and they're getting exposed for shit. Y'all went back to Tipster, giving this man his flowers, but yet y'all cared so much about his takes on Vosh. David Cohen in the chat is one of the people I respect because he'll stay on that. Nope, I don't like Tipster because of this. And I respect you for that. I respect you for that. Because I didn't like his take either. I thought it was awful. I was like, why? You should have just kept your mouth shut, bro. You didn't have to add nothing to that conversation. You should just let that man sit there and burn. You know? I'm with you, David Cohen. I thought that him, you know, defending the fucking images and shit or saying, you know, it wasn't what it was. I get it. I'm not disagreeing with you. But I know Tipster's not creepy like that. I think he just, I don't know what he was thinking. I'm not even going to speak for him. But I'm just saying, my biggest issue right now is all the people who felt the same way David Cohen in the chat felt at the time it happened, now all of a sudden are over there acting like Tipster win. Tipster W. Oh my God, Bo Blacks is getting exposed. We should have listened to Tipster. So what happened with y'all being mad about the Vosh shit? Huh. Kind of weird how that just disappeared, huh? Very interesting. I agree. Tipster, again, he's only human. He's a human. But I'm more like mad at the fakeness. You know? Hey, listen, if my line I draw with my YouTube friends is don't commit a crime. So don't do anything that's criminal. Don't hurt kids and don't commit a crime. That's it. That's all I ask. If y'all want to have bad takes and bad opinions, I'm not going to end a friendship because you have a bad take or bad opinion. You know, prove to me that this man is hurting kids and I'll be the first person to cut that cord. I'll be the first person to cut that connection, bro. Ain't no way. That's all. That's my line I draw. Just don't commit a crime. Just don't commit a crime. You know, people say fucked up shit on the internet all the time. Sometimes I'll look at you sideways like maybe you shouldn't be saying that. And then other times if it's too bad, I'm like, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. But his take on Vosh, even I called him out on that. And he agreed. He's like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have said nothing. I'm like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have. You know, having a conversation with him and making him understand why his take was bad, he heard it. He heard it. He heard it from people who were cool with him and said, listen, this is why I feel the way I feel. What you said was pretty bad. And it was explained to him and he got the message. He's like, you're right. Now that I understand where you're coming from, I can see the error in my ways. And he owned that shit. But it still got him canceled. But the people who did the most to contribute to that cancellation, look what happened to them. Look what happened to them. It's crazy. And again, even though I understand, I'm going to keep bringing up David Cohen's comment because he's the one who said it. I respect him more because he stands on business. Where these other YouTubers felt that same way at the time it happened. And then guess what? They went right back at it when they went right back to being cool with Tipster after the fact. So did they really care about his take up against with Vosh? Did they actually care about what he had to say in defense of Vosh at that moment? No, they didn't. They didn't. They didn't. Me, when I came out back when this happened, I never defended him on that. Not once. Everyone kept saying, you're defending him. No. Let me explain where I defended him. Because during that time, he had a lot of people in his community, a lot of females that he was very cool with and thought they were his friends. All of a sudden, when the heat came at him about the Vosh shit, a lot of these women They just jumped ship. And how did they jump ship? They started leaking DM conversations with very little context and tried to say that he was inappropriate with them. They tried to Me Too this man, which I thought was crazy because I'm like, bitch, I was in voice chat with you women while you are flirting with him and making comments about your titties and shit and talking flirtatious shit and making comments at him talking about like shit you want to do to this man. Meanwhile, y'all are trying to fucking drop DMs out of context. You don't even have the full context. You don't even give the full context. Y'all, none of these bitches showed the conversations that they were having with them. They would just show his replies. And that I thought was hilarious because I saw the conversations. I was in the Discord. I was in the voice calls when these women were talking to this man. All of a sudden, now that he has smoke on him, they're trying to say he was creepy in DMs with them. That's fucking bullshit because it went both ways. It was reciprocated. That's the only thing I defended him on because the last thing I'm going to do is let a man get fucking canceled or trying to get exposed on lies. On lies. Because, y'all, men get that shit end of the stick when it comes to women online all the time. How many fucking women have pointed at a dude and said, you're creepy. You're creepy in my DMs. And how many of those women were all about it? How many times did women get exposed for trying to expose a man for being creepy with them and it backfired? The truth came out. These women lied on virtual dick. Imagine lying on virtual dick. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always call these women out. Like, bro, you got to show me proof. Well, he was talking to me and flirting with me in DMs, and you were flirting back. So what's the men aren't mind readers, women. I want you to understand. I'm not sitting here saying that it's always women, because there are some creepy men. But some men aren't mind readers. You have to talk to them like they're children sometimes. No means no. Simple as that. Y'all, the women need to start saying no more. Because a man's not going to know you're uncomfortable, especially online. They're not going to know you're uncomfortable if they're in text formation. They can't read your body language. They can't hear your tone and your voice. So if a dude's messaging you in DMs and you don't like it, say no. Tell them in text you're uncomfortable. Because you're escalating it without realizing you're escalating it. Why can't you tell a dude online that I'm uncomfortable with this conversation? Ray Zero, stop talking to me in DMs like that, bro. I don't like you like that. How easy is that? But then these women entertain these conversations and then they get mad. Oh, he was being creepy in DMs. Well, what the fuck did you say to him? Where's your response? Were you flirting back? No, I never. You think I would flirt with somebody like Tipster? Yeah, I do, because y'all bitches did. Y'all bitches did do that to Tipster. Oh, he's fat and he's gross. Then why were you flirting back? Why were you entertaining the flirtatious jokes in the fucking VCs? Why were you talking to him DMs, trying to send him pictures of your fucking titties? Why were y'all on fucking webcam in the fucking, showing off your cleavage and shit and talking dirty to this man if he was so fat and unattractive? Oh, right, because he had clout. He had clout. It doesn't matter what a man looks like if he has money, if he has clout. Y'all will look past someone's looks until it's no longer convenient for you. Then all of a sudden, this man's fat and ugly. So why would you think I would ever flirt with Tipster? Look at me and look at Tipster. But bitch, you did. I was there. I'm a witness. I'm a witness to all you thirsty ass bitches on this man's dick. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who's willing to lie and cheat for money, they remind me of MR Crab's obsession with money can be harmless, but when people become greedy, it can make people uncomfortable. I agree. 100%. 100%. What do you come back to? Me talking about all these fucking women at the time that tried to expose Tipster for being a creep when it was all lies. It was all lies. Tipster made it very clear. We all used to make flirtatious comments to each other in that fucking Discord. I made the comments to the ladies made the comments to me, we made it to the dudes there, we made it to Tipster would make it back, but when Tipster did it, it was creepy. All of a sudden, it was creepy when Tipster did it, but all these women doing it to him, it was never creepy. It was never creepy. And I called that out, and a lot of people came at me. A lot of these people came at me. I lost a fucking person I liked over it. And I'm like, bro, fuck all y'all, because y'all are just fucking fraudulent as hell. I'm sorry I'm too real for a lot of people on the internet. I'm so sorry. My apologies. I'll tone it down. I'll be fake like everybody else. Maybe I'll get somewhere on YouTube if I start being fake like all y'all. Oh, wait, nah, I ain't gonna be like that. Sorry. Because trust me, I wanted Tipster to expose these bitches. I said, drop he would show me the conversation. I'm like, drop it or let me drop it. And he said, no, there's no point. There's no point. But he's such a horrible person that he ain't even trying to expose these bitches who try to fucking basically paint him as a predator online. That's crazy. Oh, well, maybe he didn't do it because they have more on him, bro. The shit I saw was damning. I really would love for him to drop the receipts. I would love for him to drop the receipts. But maybe it's too little too late. He's trying to move past it. But I'm going to still call it out because that shit did fucking happen when these women try to jump on these fucking YouTubers' dicks that were fucking exposing Tipster, exposing him for his bad take. How you expose somebody for something they said publicly anyways, beats me. But these women were trying to expose him for shit that wasn't even fucking true. That wasn't even true. You got people who till this day hate Tipster based on lies. Based on lies. Meanwhile, the people they were sucking off when Tipster fell, now they're the ones getting fucking exposed. Wow, the tables have definitely turned. It's almost like y'all should have just fucking listened the first time when this man said these bitches were lying. These fucking people are lying on me. Yeah, I had a shitty take. I had a couple shitty takes, but if that's all y'all got on Tipster, you're doing it wrong. I find it weird that these commentary YouTubers are the ones who have exposed all these people and covered all these people that definitely got exposed for the right reasons. All of a sudden, I don't know if the content went dry. They just needed fucking something to talk about. I guess Tipster was it. Because tell me, what did he do? What did he actually do in comparison to all the shit y'all covered for a long time that needed to be like, it was so bad, Tipster bad boy. Fuck Tipster. Fuck him. He should be fucking out of the fucking the community. They made fun of him when he came out as pansexual. Oh, that's my God. He came out as pansexual. Let's laugh, point and laugh. Oh, point and laugh. He's pansexual. What a fucking expose. What a scandal. What a controversy. He's pansexual. It's because of Keffels. Keffels made him gay. Keffels made him gay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, make it clearer. Say no in text and make it clear. And then if he keeps pushing, then you can call him creepy and call him out. Otherwise, stop lying for clout, ladies. Well, you aren't ladies. I agree. That's why you'll never get me to say that some dude was creepy in my DMs because I unfortunately entertain the conversations because I don't give a fuck. I know what I'm doing. I'm not trying to fuck you, you know? But girls like being flirted with. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to fucking expose somebody for being a dude and finding me attractive if I don't feel comfortable with the conversation. I have no problem saying I'm good. I got a dude. You know, I got a man. I'm good. Let's just be friends. You know, and then if you keep pushing the boundaries, I'm just not going to talk to you anymore. I just stop talking. I stop responding. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've done that many times. I have a dude who every month hits me up. You single yet? You single yet? I stop responding. That's how I handle those shit. I don't give him a response anymore. I don't block him. I don't do anything. I just stop responding. Let them get the message. I'm not entertaining this conversation. Thank you. Really simple. Here's something new. You could always say Tipster is better than Muda because Muda just responded to the controversy and it's total PR. Of course he did. Of course he did. Of course Muda's going to respond to it. What is it, a Dr. Disrespect response? Is it a Dr. Disrespect response? I mean, yeah, Tipster has always owned his shit. Wait, hold on. I just got something. Hold on. I just got sent something. Oh, never mind. I had something unrelated. I thought it was something related to this. You know, I just had to call this out because this shit blows my mind. It blows my mind. I've been on so many streams talking about the Tipster stuff. Like, why? What happened? What's going on with Tipster? Why are you defending him? Because I know the dude is not as bad as everyone makes him seem. But these other YouTubers that y'all want to support are definitely bad. Trying to get sympathy points by lying about having a personality disorder. Like, here's the thing. I've said it many times. I have been told when I went to therapy that I do have a personality disorder. or I'm sorry, a mood disorder, not personality, a mood disorder. I have a mood disorder, said my therapist. However, we did not get far in the process where I was tested or diagnosed with anything. I speculate based on my behaviors and based on other people who have experienced with it that I might have bipolar person. I might be bipolar, and I might have bipolar depression. Right. But unless I get tested, I'm not going to say for a fact, hey guys, I'm a bipolar person. You could probably tell by how I am, I might be bipolar, but that doesn't mean I can say without a question of a doubt, I have bipolar. Like I have bipolar personality disorder, whatever. I can't say that I have it. I can just say that I think I do. But till I get a diagnosis, I can't say that. It's like with Boogie saying, I have cancer. No, they said you might have cancer. They said we have to test you to see if you have cancer, but you don't know you have cancer. We didn't run the test. So Boogie over here saying, I have cancer, when he was told by his doctors, you might have cancer. You know what I'm saying? It's really that simple. Just, I could tell y'all, yeah, I might be bipolar. How do I might have bipolar? Listen to me talk. Listen to my moods. Listen to, you get to know me, you can tell there's something wrong with me. I just don't know what that is because a doctor hasn't specifically told me what it was. So there you go. It's just that simple. Yeah, I agree. I told Joker Corner no, and he understood that I didn't want to commit crime in Gotham. That's crazy. He's learned to not do so. Yeah, well, Mudahar, Bo Blacks, they can go fuck themselves. They're just awful. They're just awful. But yeah. Tipster right now, I find it funny because I'm looking at Tipster's Twitter right now and just seeing all the comments of people who were the ones who had no problems going at Tipster, calling him out, clowning on him, shitting on everything he said and done. And now everyone's glazing him by calling out, clowning on Mudahar in that situation. And the same people who had no issues. Look at this. 279 likes on this post that he posted about Mudahar's wife, right? And 22 retweets, 21 comments. And I'm looking at all of these people. I'm like, I see a few names of people who are definitely going at Tipster, jumping on the bandwagon, calling him out for all that shit and shitting on him. Now, all of a sudden, this comment section like, yeah, nah, Mudahar's wife's a bitch, and fuck her, she's pathetic, and yeah, Mudahar's trash, and win Tipster. And I'm like, weren't y'all the ones going at Tipster like a year or two ago? Going at him, calling him a predator, a creep and shit, and all this other stuff. And now y'all are, in his comments, glazing this man. Guess y'all didn't really care. Guess y'all really didn't care. Love to see it, though. I love to see it. Oh, wells. Hey, Ray, which people I don't know are you talking about? All the people on my thumbnail? All the people on my thumbnail? All I know is A. A win's a win. W, Tipster. Proud of you. Proud of you for doing nothing but letting these people expose themselves. I'm scared of women. Some women, is that a problem? Be afraid. Be very afraid of women. The vagina is a spell. It's a spell. We cast spells with our vaginas. That's what we do. The world has always been filled with fake people. Nothing new about that. Yeah, but it's so sad. It's like, why? Why be a content creator if you're just going to be fake? It makes no sense to me, but that's all I want to talk about. I have some shit I got to get done. I wanted to talk about that real quick. So get that out the way. I love y'all so freaking much. Listen, everybody's been talking to me about making a Discord. I'm tempted, but every time I make a Discord, it gets dead. And nobody gets active, and I ended up nuking it anyways. So everybody asked me to make a Discord. I love y'all, but I don't love y'all that much. Flirtatious is not SA. Yes, that is true. But I gotta run. Much love to y'all. I will see you guys tomorrow. I know this is a short stream, but I do have shit to do. So I'm gonna let y'all go. Enjoy the rest of your day. It is 6:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So go enjoy today. I know it's Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. But go outside and touch grass. Much love. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.